Hey guys, it's Ryan. I wanted to make a video real quick. I just wanted to show you the environment today. It's nice rain. It sounds wonderful. Haven't had rain like this in a while. It's just I'm sitting out here. It's beautiful and relaxing and just enjoying it. And it's wonderful. I love it. And I was thinking about a lot of things, and I had these some crazy dreams last night. That I died. I had a crazy dream that I died, and um, I just woke up this morning feeling pretty good, and I had a lot of ideas about like mind, body, and soul, and I had a lot of ideas about each one and how they work. I was thinking about a lot of stuff. I was really inspired, really feeling good. Um, and I had tons of video ideas and things I wanted to talk about and discuss. And what I came to realize for today is I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to tell a story about what I'm doing and what exactly happened yesterday. It's just a nice little story because I was thinking about stories of love. Can be very inspiring, especially if the stories are very like close to home, you know. So this story really inspired me to do some things, and I'll tell you what it was. So this the story goes like, well, it's real life, of course, but um, anyways, what happened was because of the coronavirus thing, our church shut down, and yesterday my pastor he did communion. Him and his wife did communion over YouTube. Okay, like they did it live video over YouTube, and they didn't have to do that. Like um, they did it for their congregation, you know, for the people that go to church, but they didn't have to do that. Like you might think, like, yeah, he has to do it. He's a pastor. Yeah, he should do it. Yeah, but he don't have to. He could have been lazy. He could have been like, hey, I'm not going to do that, whatever. Um, but but he did that for his people because he loves his congregation. He loves his people. He loves talking about the Lord. He loves that. That's what he loves. So because he loves the people, he's gonna do it live and do the whole communion and everything live, and I thought that was really powerful watching it, because when I was watching him and I was watching the service, the musicians, the singers, they did their part, and they tried to make the people feel like they were at the church, you know, and everybody tuned in to watch. The congregation tuned in to watch, and it was really powerful for me because I felt like it hit close to home, because I was thinking about how everybody goes through a bunch of stuff and everybody helps each other out, and these stories of love, these stories of people giving themselves to help others it seems like it's the most powerful thing, like as far as motivation, make you feel like motivated and stuff, and maybe it might get your emotions a little bit stirred up too, but these stories of love and people helping each other out, and a person doing some selfless act because they just decided, like, I'm going to go do this because they don't have to. They just feel like they feel like they have to because maybe they're upset about the situation and they want to help fix it, or they just feel bad for that person because the person is in a bad situation. They want to help that person somehow, and nobody else is helping. And then somebody steps up and goes, I'm tired of this. You know, I'm going to go and I'm going to help that person because I feel upset that nobody's helping that person or something like that. I'm just making examples. But those stories of love is powerful. So my pastor was talking on the live stream, and they're doing the best they can. You know, they with the video and the editing, it may not be the best, but they're doing the best they can. They're just like, hey, let's try to do this, and they're doing the best they can, and I love that. Like, I love when somebody, or I love when somebody is that they don't really know what they're doing. They're not the best. They're just like, hey, we've got some cameras, and we've got some microphones, and we've got some things here, and we're not the best technicians. We didn't go to school, but we're gonna do the best we can. And it's so cool because it's so down to earth. It's so, you just feel that love of like, hey, like ideas and stuff. Let's try to do this, and let's try to do that, and make it the best we can with what we have. And I was watching it, and I was like, man, they did a really good job for not being like super technicians. And even the little bit of like low budget kind of look even makes me feel even better, because there's something to like indie stuff, there's something to low budget stuff that just resonates. It makes it feel like it's more lifey or more real or something to me. Anyways, just the fact that they're trying and they did that for the people, I feel like, man, so much love, and it inspired me, and it made me feel, man, I had all these ideas, and I had all these emotions, and I had all these things, like, what could I do? Like, I just felt like, what can I do? Like, I felt like this whole virus and everything that's going on makes me a little bit upset, makes me a little bit want to stand out and go out and like go out in the streets and go hold a sign up for people to tell them to wear masks and to wear protection and stuff like that. I just felt like a lot of emotions from the broadcast that they did. So we took communion, and I told my brother, I called my brother, he didn't watch it, and I called him, and he said that he was having a little bit of, he's feeling down, and he's feeling not inspired because we're all staying home and stuff like that. And I said, hey, you got to go watch what the church did. You know, you got to go watch what they did. Like, they did a broadcast on YouTube, and they had communion and everything, and it really will speak to you, because it's people we know, and it's I just felt like it was a lot of love. Like, I felt a lot of love for them to do that. Like, even though you might say, well, that's required for them to do that, and I'm just like, no, it's not. Actually, it's not. It's they didn't have to do that. They did that out of love for their congregation. And you know, they have their hotline, and they have you know, whoever wants to call them could call them. It's a great support team that they've got, and it's just wonderful. It's just like, it's just really awesome. And I know, because I know people, and I know all the struggles and the problems, and I hear it all the time. And whenever I hear somebody helping somebody else out, or this happened and that, and it kind of comes together, and I start going like, wow, like, that's love right there. Like, oh man, it's so strong. It stories of love and people going out of their way is just, they're so strong. It makes me really want to do stuff. So what I did the other day was I started writing down a whole bunch of stuff that I could do for my community and for the church and for different people. I started writing down all these things that I could do. Like, and I found that there were simple things. There were a lot of simple things, but the simple things, even though they're so simple, they take a lot of gusto. They take a lot of like a lot of you're gonna have to like stand out or be uncomfortable putting yourself out there or something like that. People might be like, "What are you doing?" You know, like, and as long as you listen to your heart, you listen, and you don't care, and you go do these things, um, then the people will come around, and it'll be a good thing, and people will be inspired by it, and so I was writing down a bunch of different things that I can do. Um, and So one of the things that I had to do was for myself was fixing up my whole little computer area. I have a TV and I have an Xbox and a laptop and a little computer area, and it's just horrible. It's just like a mess. And I was like, man, I need to clean up my mess. I need to make something nice. So I went on YouTube and I went on YouTube and I watched some videos about people that have made really nice computer desks. Like they fancied it all up. I watched a bunch of different ones. Um, I watched some of the really fancy ones where the people spent a lot of money on, and I also watched the really cheap ones that people spent little money on. And I go, okay, I feel like I want to do something. So I just started like cleaning up all my mess, and it took me like 2 hours. I had this idea of using this little bookshelf as my computer desk and putting my books in there and have everything all nice. And and I was like, hey, I need something to stand the TV up so I could put the thing under it. And I was like, what am I going to use as a stand? And I always had this idea of using bricks. And so I took 2 bricks and I stood the TV up on the bricks. And there's this like element of wood and a couple of bricks, and it seems very man cave-ish, I guess. But it really made me feel good. Like I used all free stuff, and I used my imagination, and I used elements that I like, and I made this little computer desk bookshelf thing. And it's not the best, but it was like nice and clean, and I had everything organized. I put everything organized in it, and I'm like, what took so long to do this? Because I've been thinking about doing this for like, I don't know, like a month. And what took so long? And I don't know what it was, but after watching that broadcast from my pastor, like the church broadcast, something inside of me just felt really good, and I just felt really like I wanted to do that, and I did it. And I had my son help me carry the bookshelf. I had my son help me carry the bookshelf in because I felt like, man, I'm getting older now, and I used to always do things so fast, and I was so strong. Like I could just pick the bookshelf up, carry it from the garage, and put it in there, like clean it off, like really fast. And the other day I felt like if I do this, if I pick up this bookshelf and carry it in, I'm going to hurt my back. I'm going to be sore tomorrow. I'm going to be hurting. I could do it, but do I want to do it? Do I want that? And I'm like, no, Ryan, go get Isaiah, go get your son to help carry this thing in. And then when he came out there, and he's like, Dad, you called me all the way out here to carry this light shelf. Like, it's light. You could carry this. Like, why did you call me? You could carry this by yourself. I've seen you carry things that are just like really super heavy, and you just like grab it and you just like take it. You're always doing that. And it's like, yeah, well, you know what? It's like I hit the point where I don't want to do that anymore. I hit the point where I don't want to hurt my back. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to be sore the next day. I don't want to do it. And he's like, well, you do all that weightlifting and all those different things. It's like, yeah, to stay strong and everything, but I'm not trying to pick up this thing and maneuver it through the garage and through the house and get hurt. So, can you help me out? Um, so he helped me out, and then he realized how awkward it was, and um, how I could have hurt my back if I would have tried to do it. But him helping me, it helped a lot. It helped a lot. It made me feel like I don't have to do this alone. I have somebody who's helping me. It felt good, and I was like, man, I need to do this more often. Like, get the young people to help out with things, because um, because they're young and they have energy. They have a lot of energy. And just like when I was young, they have a lot of energy. And I remember I used to help people all the time. Like, I had so much energy. I could still help people, but not like the way when I was young. I remember I could do so much. And yesterday it took me 2 hours to do that, to do my computer desk area, like to make it and position everything and like clean everything off and like stack everything the way I wanted and this and that and da da da, and get a box for this and go out in the garage. And it took me like 2 hours or something. And when I was younger, I probably would have done it in like 45 minutes. Like, I would have went out to the garage and I wouldn't have thought so much. This is what I would have done when I was younger. I would have went out in the garage. I had an idea. I'd go out in the garage. I'd find the bookshelf. I'd grab it. I'd pick it up. I wouldn't dust it off or anything. Spider webs, whatever, doesn't matter. I'd just grab it and I'd just take it out in the front yard, clean it all off, pick it up like fast, go through the house fast, carrying the thing, and just put it over there. And go through my stuff real fast, separate everything real fast. And then when I'm done, still have tons of energy. No, it took me 2 hours, and when I was done, I was exhausted. So, big difference, So, here comes I was going to say the ice cream truck. Here comes the trash man. I shouldn't put those two together, right? Ice cream truck and trash man. Okay, so, anyways, it may not be no big of a deal. It's like, hey, dude, all you did was clean off your desk, or like clean your stuff up, and had an idea for this bookshelf. No big deal, you know what I mean? Like it, but the reason why I wanted to tell the story is because maybe you could make a connection. I'm trying to make a connection to the action. Okay? I'm trying to make a connection to the action. So in other words, the story of love, the live broadcast that the pastor did, it's a story of love. I felt the love in it. The things he was saying was resonating. And then the emotions built up. And then the action that came out of that was me doing this, making this little computer desk thing. And one more thing that I want to do with my computer desk is I want to put a plant. So I need to get a plant and put a plant there. It'll look really nice. And I sat there and I just enjoyed the computer desk. Just sat there and enjoyed it, and all the cleanliness, my bed nice and made and everything cleaned off. And then I was looking at the blinds and I was like, man, these blinds are old, and I was looking at a lot of things actually, like the paint in the room. I was like, hey, this needs to be repainted. It's not bad, but it would be nicer if it was painted. And anyways, it was nice. And then I was just like, man, I did this. It's all free stuff. Everything was free. All it was just me doing it. So, anyways, this is a video for you to, because I was just thinking like people, this might help them to look for stories of love that might inspire and motivate them. And so what's really funny is like this book, I've been kind of like skimming through it and reading it. It's called The Mark of a Millionaire. I used to be really into trying to become a millionaire or trying to, make more money and really business oriented and really like trying to figure it all out and everything. And I came to a point where I feel like this is great to read. It's great. It's empowering. It gets me going. It makes me feel good and stuff like that. But as far as becoming like a millionaire, the whole idea of that, of what I've grew up and what I believed and what society tries to tell you and everything, like, oh, become a millionaire and everything. I've come to a point where I'm like, I'm just tired of it. Like, I don't really care to be a millionaire. I just care to own certain things and to have my needs met. And I'm not a lazy person, but I'm kind of a person that it wants like to do my own things more than grinding out some job, like grinding out some even like some sort of grinding out some sort of, you gotta work hard, right, and all that, like grinding out on the computer with some sort of like get rich program or something like that, or be like a part of the Tony Robbins group or whatever. Like, at one time in my life I really wanted that, and now I feel like I don't even care. Like, I feel like I don't care about rich and fancy things and stuff like that. So really I just want well, I've got an idea of my mind of how I would like my personal life, and it's not very glamorous. It's not like bling bling glamorous. Like when I was young, everything was like bling bling and wanting to have money and materialistic fancy things and all this other stuff, and like it was just so stupid. Like, it was fun, I guess, when you're young, but now that I'm getting older, I'm just like, man, I don't care for all that stuff. It's like I want to be like, I really feel like I want to be a country boy. I want to be I just want to be like even more of a country boy. Like, I don't want to live in a city. I want to be back out there where I drive like a four-wheel truck and I have a trailer and I have property and I have a quad and I have a farm, like my own little farm, and I have that type of lifestyle. Like, that's what I feel like I want. Like, of course I still want the internet, and of course I still want to be on the grid. It's just I want to be more country where like things are slower and like that small town feel, I guess. And where property prices are low, and you could buy a property for really cheap, and you don't have to grind out and have to become a doctor or become something like some job, work at some crazy job or something like that. Just honestly, I just want to have like a part-time job.